Hello and hello. Thank you so much for being here, joining me today. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Today, I will hopefully receive the answer to a very interesting question. Ruboss made a video in Germany. Can I get by with English? Which I have a skewed perspective because all you guys leave comments mostly in English in my comment section. So to me, it's like, and you all speak perfect English, it seems like. So to me, I feel like I could just waltz into Germany. You know, if I had to pee, no problem. Where's the bathroom, please? Or worse, number 2. Because that would be really horrible to get stuck in a situation where you need to get somewhere or something, or you're lost, and you're a stupid American tourist lost in the country and nobody can help you. I'm thinking overall, from what I've seen, you guys speak amazing English, but the question still has to be answered. Can you really get by with it? Like, how many of you do speak English? This man is here to answer the question. I can't wait. Let's go.
A question that visitors to Germany are likely to ask is whether they can get by on English. And
that's a good question to ask before you go.
It's a fair question because German is a famously difficult and scary language to learn. And
I will say, I've tried to learn some German you guys have seen, maybe. I've taken some German quizzes, and I will take more because I amuse myself every time. Hopefully you guys get amused by it too. But with that said, I still suck. Like, I can't speak German. Let's be honest. I cannot. I can say hello.
You're only visiting for 2 weeks. A 3-year language course is probably out of the question. So, as a clueless tourist armed only with the words for please, thank you, and beer, will you get by?
Which isn't beer, just beer.
Or will you find yourself adrift on a sea of confusion? English is the world's lingua franca, which means it's the language used when people of different mother tongues have to communicate.
And thank God. I'm so grateful for that as an American, especially with our education system here. Us Americans would have no chance out in the rest of the world if you guys didn't take it upon yourselves. I know there's plenty of other English-speaking countries. I'm not that dumb and arrogant. But America's one of them, and here, most people, man, if they got dropped in a different country, they would be screwed if nobody spoke English.
For example, if a Czech businessman meets his Chinese contact in Paris, the chances are that the language they'll be speaking is English. So it's not unreasonable to suppose that Germans might speak English. But do they? You'll get a range of replies to this question.
I know some do.
Some people will say that an awful lot of Germans don't speak a word of English and they had a really tough time in the country. Others will say that literally every German they met spoke fantastic English, and some will even complain that when they tried to practice their German, Germans would always speak English. So either Germans...
I've seen a TikTok about that, actually. That's a good point.
...everywhere speak...
They're just like, yeah, that's cute. What do you need? Just speak English, okay? We'll bring it down to your level. But that was a cute attempt.
English or none of them do. How very helpful. According to a study for the European Commission, which was conducted in 2012, about 56% of Germans say they know enough English to be able to have a conversation in it. That compares with 90% of Dutch people and 20% of Hungarians, so middling. So perhaps it's no wonder that...
that's still amazing to me as an American. There's no way that's anywhere near as high here in America for any foreign language. The next highest would definitely be Spanish, but most kids are just like taking that for a couple years in high school and forget it by the time they're 19.
That people have such vastly different experiences. Of course, among those who didn't say they could have a conversation in English is probably quite a large number of people who know enough English to be able to direct you to the museum you've just got hopelessly lost trying to find. It's not as if nearly half the people you meet will be unable to speak a word. If you're a tourist, most people you're likely to interact with are going to be working in some job relevant to the tourist industry: hotel receptionists, waitstaff, tour guides. These people will know at least enough English to be able to do their jobs.
The people whose job it is to find the American tourists and the other tourists and get them to purchase things for way overpriced. Am I right?
Which is the reason they were hired in the first place. As a rule, Germans who have studied to university level will probably speak English quite well. Those with a less academic background will probably speak less or none at all. In the city, you're more likely to find somebody who speaks English. In the country, perhaps less. Older generations are less likely to speak English than younger people, and this is especially true in former East Germany, because under the old communist regime, people were not encouraged to learn English.
Wow.
Once you leave the airport,
it's still crazy to think that just wasn't that long ago. You know, so the ramifications are still in effect. It's just crazy to me.
you may see some signs in English, but it's actually quite unlikely unless you happen to be in an extremely touristy area. And it can be frustratingly random. For example, in larger train stations, some of the signs are translated into English and French, but signs pointing to important sites might not be. So, can you survive without German? I'd say yes, but if you go off the beaten track, it might be a bit challenging. In my
That makes sense. You probably got to stick to the big cities.
experience, people will do their best to help you, and it can be surprising how well you can communicate even if you don't have a language in common. So, my advice, learn a few basic.
That would really be an experience I've never had. Trying to communicate. Well, I guess I have that with my baby every day. It does not go well. I have no idea what he's trying to ask for, guys. Half the time I'm shoving a bottle in his mouth, and then he just had to poop. And then he's happy. Meanwhile, I'm trying to drown him with milk. So, yeah, I'm skeptical, but that would be interesting.
Basic phrases because everyone appreciates it if you make an effort, and then come over here and enjoy yourselves and don't worry too much about the language.
I'd have to have a few beers in me to not worry about it at all. It's very interesting. Okay, so the answer is like, yeah, you could get away with it, but it's not gonna be the easiest unless you stick to like a tourist, like a tour guide who's speaking English and you just know everywhere they go is meant for tourism. But I would want to more so explore. Man, it kind of seems risky to go off just on your own, not speaking the native language. But you guys would have me fooled. I swear in the comments, you guys speak absolute fluent English. And I've seen a lot of videos of German people speaking fluent, amazing English. Like it's, is there a word? I feel like there's a word for when you know a language. I guess it's just fluent. I already said the word. Yeah, you're fluent. Like you don't have to think about, how do I say the? Anyway, that was cool. Go check out Rubos, link down below. I hope you guys are doing well. Hey, to anybody going through anything, like some anxiety or anything, you're going to get through it. All right? You're doing a great job. Keep going. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Goodbye.